trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. This is the stock market as of Friday. There it is, end of the day on Friday. Here's where we were opening Sunday night. We opened higher, and then we sold off, came off 30 points to stop right there. That was exactly 382 of the low that we made here on Friday. Where does that tell us we're going? Guess where it is, folks, right now, 6778. That is that ABCD pattern that we're looking at right now. You notice we had a little pullback here, but this is the one that's controlling it. So we're already making new highs, so it's not a big deal, but there's where we are, 67778. High has been 67779, but that should be a completed pattern because you are looking at AB equals CD. We'll just draw it in here so that you folks, hopefully you'll be able to see it. Well, I guess not. Try it one more time here. There's where we go. There's our AB leg right here. If I can get it to hit right, there you go. There's your CD leg coming in right there. And there it is right now. So we should be making a high. The Dow's up 489 points. The NASDAQ's up 300. The Russell's up 444 points. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. But this should be a pretty good move to stop it right here. That number, 67778. There we are. 67776. Folks, we come 200 handles since our low on Friday. We come down 180 handles, and then we go up 200 handles. This is a wild time in Bridgemont High, as they would say. Now, I don't want to be what you call a, let's just move on to something else here for a second. I wanted to show you that we have not made new highs on the NASDAQ as of yet. Where we are with the Russell now, let's just get the Russell out. We'll do the 4-hour chart on the Russell. You'll see it is the weakest of the group. And so, as you can see, we're making a 61% retracement here in the Russell. That's off the high we made back here. Remember, the others are making new highs, or almost making new highs. The Russell is sitting right at the 618 right now as we speak, okay? All right, just giving you a heads up of what we're paying attention to. That's really what I'm doing. All right, now let's move over here, talk just a tiny bit. We've had some things going on that were pretty good. Now, what I did last night, if you remember, folks, I said there was a strong probability that we could be making a bottom, excuse me, in the, Norm, we'll be ready in a minute. There's where we were. And what I said was to buy the 382 retracement. Well, there was the 382 retracement, I believe, right here Sunday night. Okay, our stop was right there. So we got knocked out of that. That did not work the way that we wanted it to. And so with that, we came down, we made another, let's just draw it in because you'll be able to see it pretty easily. We did make an ABCD pattern into this area right here. There's your AB leg. There's your CD leg right down in here. Well, it didn't draw it right, but you can see we came down and we did make new lows, folks. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. And that's why you take a loss. And now you can see we're having a pretty good rally back to the upside. But that's okay. I had a plan. It didn't work, and I move on to the next one. That's all I can do. Now, you know that we've been bearish to euro for quite some time. We'll get this up here, and you'll be able to see it here. The euro continues to meander down very quietly, of course, but not doing very much. You can see here's where we thought it would get to there. You can see we've come down 1.5 points from those levels. We had a little ABCD pattern right here, and we had a little bit of a pattern here, but it wasn't even a 382, so there's nothing you could do on that. That was the one early this morning. You'll see that we did miss it by, hold on just a second if I can get this thing to work right. There we go. So we missed it by a great deal. Then we come down and we're still missing it. There was an ABCD right here in a bear market. And so you just sell that. And it continued to go, absolutely a whole lot lower. All right, now that's that, and I wanted to show you the NASDAQ because that's been the big daddy rabbit. It's almost ready to make new highs, has not done that as yet. Let me connect with my board here because I know you're not getting charts now because when I change, I have to come in and change the picture itself. So give me 1 second and I will get the picture changed. We are coming in pretty good here. Hold on 1 second here. And I'll be all right. Where did the NASDAQ go? Shut the front door. I got it right here. Just 1 second, folks. I've got to reinstate the NASDAQ, and then we'll move on to the next one right here. Boy, this thing needs a lot of help. Hold on 1 second here. There's where we are. And we'll get this NASDAQ up, and because we're only I think we're 30 points away from making a new in the NASDAQ, folks. Remember, it was down 1,000 points the other day, and look where we are now. You have to love it. Hold on a second here. Oh, dear. Give me a second. Doggone it. Very, very troublesome. Give me a minute here. There we go. Now I got it coming up here. Here's our NASDAQ, and you'll see where we are here. There's where, okay, hold on just a second, folks. Just a second. Doggone it. Wow, this technical stuff drives me nuts. All right, got to get rid of that stuff in there. Okay, I'm coming up. Bear with me here. Might want to correct these mistakes as we... All right. Boy, this is really frustrating, Al, to have to do this every time. It used to be so easy, but not anymore. Okay, now this head and shoulder pattern didn't look like it was going to work here. You see that S right there? That's the high we made on Friday. Once we went above that, which we did Sunday night, that said we were going to go higher. And we are within a heartbeat now of just 40 points of making a new all-time high in the NASDAQ. Okay, now look where we are now, folks. Just let me clean this out and so we can see this together. But there's the low that we made way back here on the 10th. Then we came up and we made oh boy, this god darn thing. There we go. I think we're okay. Okay, that should have measured to 5201, but because of the strength of this, we know the CD leg has to be 1.27 of the AB leg. So you come over here, take a look at this. We're going to put in 127, and then you'll see that we are going to be looking at a price level of, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Whoa, my goodness, that's going to blow the socks off of everybody. Hold on 1 second here, because there's the old high. And if we get up there and make a new ABCD, we're talking about 2541. That's another 120 points higher. Look at this, folks. After we took off here, we had this little pullback here on Friday, but nothing last night. Look, it's just been one powerful puppy other than this little tiny mini pullback right here. So we're almost there. You can see we're very, very close to a new high, and we're most probably going to get there. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't know when it's going to be over, but let me tell you something, boys and girls. I've been doing this a long time, maybe too long, I guess. Maybe that's what I should say. Is I've been around too long. I should hang it up. Okay, let's take a look here, and we'll bring this up.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, this is the chart that just came out on Friday. It's margin debt. You'll notice that with September of 2025, we had reached $1.1 trillion in debt. The most important part of this on the other side of that is it's the lowest cash reserves that they've ever witnessed. It's 10% or less. The cash reserves, the buying power of people in their accounts. That was reported by Morgan Stanley, I believe, but that's what we're watching now. I don't know when this is going to top. I thought it was going to be today, but as I mentioned in the newsletter, if we were going to be strong today, hold on, let me get this back up here because we're almost there in the NASDAQ. 1 second, I've got to reinstate this, otherwise the thing will not show. Oh, boy. This is, I don't know what else to do. Sorry, folks, I don't know what else to do, actually, so hold on a second here. Now we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ. You can see we're just a heartbeat away from taking out these highs right back here. Tells us we're going to go up another 100 points or so in that ABCD, so we are still going to go higher. How much higher? Could go a lot higher, folks. I don't know the answer to that. All I know is that it looks like it wants to go higher, and you don't want to stand in front of it. That's really what we're paying a close attention to here today. I've already pointed out to you the Dow Jones. We could go another 100 and some points higher on that, but we're getting very, very close. It is so dangerous out there being long, folks. I really hate to talk about it because I had several instances today where I got people out of the market a few days ago, and now things are substantially higher, and I have to handle that physically and emotionally, and it's not an easy thing to do because I've been doing this a long time, and gosh, I've had so many experiences and one after another. It's just amazing. But look at these straight down. Look at this. The NASDAQ drops $20,000 and rallies $20,000. Now it's up $20,000. That's not good action, folks. Well, it's good if you're long and buying on the dips, but the rest of it is not so much, okay? All right. Okay, we just hit that number, and 66779 was a number in the S&P that we were watching, that 1.618 expansion. Could go a lot higher because we still got another 2.5 hours to go in the market. So let's move on. We've already talked about the gold. We talked about the silver. Next one, let's do the silver next because we totally different markets between silver and the gold. I'm going to show you this to you in just a second so you'll be able to see what I'm referring to. All right, give me a second, and I just have to come in and reinstate this. Sorry, Al, I'm laughing because just when I think it stops working, it works. So who knows? I'm afraid to touch anything. This is the silver market. We made a high up here. Now the rally back, you can see here, we missed the 382 by a little bit. Okay. Then we had the move right here today. This is an intraday move. We're going to draw it in. There's your ABCD pattern right here. I love this. And there's your ABCD coming in here at 41.57. The high has been 41.50, 41.62. So that's all we've done so far is make that retracement. We're trading exactly right now. We're trading exactly at the 382 of the silver. Gold is within a heartbeat of the new high. We had a high today of 43.75. The old high was 43.92. So this one's acting bearish. You want to sell the weakest. Buy the strongest, sell the weakest. And since we're on that, let's try to get this up one more time so I can show you that gold market that had such a, oh, look at this stock market go. Boy, it's really making new highs. Hold on just a second here. There's where we are in the gold market right there. Okay, now I want to give you a little story here. Let me get up here on the monthly chart on the gold, all right? Let's get back here on the monthly, and we're going to go all the way back to right here. Okay, this was June of 2014. I was at the Money Show in Los Angeles. I was one of the speakers, and Sarah was with me, and we were going around the exhibits. And there was one of the coin dealers from New York City was there selling gold coins, and he had a complete set of gold coins from the $1 all the way through to the $20, including the very rare $4 gold piece. It's known as the Gold Stella. Well, the guy wanted like $13,000 for the set. And Sarah said she'd like to buy it. And so I called one of my buddies in Los Angeles that had done many, and I asked him about the coins in there. He said, the coin shop you're working with is first class. He said, they're triple. I don't know what's happened. I think I'm still on the air, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so we figured it out that what the ounces were in the gold and stuff. And we were going to pay $7,000 for the two coins. One was the $4 Gold Stella, which is very rare. That was only printed 2 years, 1879 and 1880. That's after the Civil War. The $3 gold piece was not quite as rare, but it was still rare. So we had those in there. So we bought it, tossed it in the safety deposit box, and with silver at these new high prices, we're looking around maybe to sell a little bit of some of the coins that wait a minute, something's going wrong. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening. Oh man, I tell you, I don't know what to do, Al. This is just as frustrating as it can possibly be. All right, let's get this up here. I'm trying to explain to you. Anyway, this is where we were right here. Okay. Anyway, the coin that we bought for $5,000, which was the $4 gold piece, very rare. It was in very good condition, by the way. You couldn't find an uncirculated one. Those are worth $300,000-$400,000. But we paid $6,000 for that. So I told Sarah, if we could get $10,000 for that, I said, that'd be a pretty good run. And I thought about that. I said, no, you got to get more than that because you bought it for $5,000, $10,000. This has gone up 3 times. Well, we maybe be closer to maybe $15,000 or $20,000. Well, she went into the coin dealer in Tucson, Arizona, and the guy gave her a price that he'd buy it for, and she walked out. And anyway, it was a lot. It was $79,000, folks, for one coin. And I told her, I said, put it away. I said, don't even bother if it's that rare. So anyway, that's what's going on. Sometimes you get lucky, and she did. So that's what's really important here for what we're watching here. Okay, let's move on here. Our guest today is Norman Winsky, and he has some really strong astrological stuff today. But actually, Norman ain't going to stop the market today. I don't think so. That's what it looks like from my cheap seats here in Tucson, Arizona. But we'll be talking to Norm here in just a minute. He always has some good stuff, and we'll find out. All I know is, folks, this might not be the top in gold, but it's going to be a top. I think it'll be the top when it's finally over, but it's not over yet. The high was $43.92. We're $22 away that's about 3 trades in the gold market. So you can see today, we've had another $130 move in gold to the upside. We got the Dow Jones up 480 points. There's nothing bearish on the front, but this is the time you got to be most dangerous, folks. When you got zero cash balances out there for the customers, their margin to the hilt to the tune of $1.1 trillion, because when it comes down, they don't let you out on an uptick. I can tell you that. The things that are happening now are going to come and bite them on the rear end. This move that we're seeing is the same as the one we had in 2011. There it was. The market went from $600 in gold to $1932, 250% retracement. Okay, then it went down for 4 years, almost 5 years, to the bottom of December of 2016 at $1,000. Okay, and this is where Sarah was buying it right in here before the bottom, but she was buying really exotic coins, so that was a little bit different.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Norm Winsky in the house. Norm, welcome to TFNN. What do we have today?
Thank you very much, Larry. Can you hear me okay?
Coming in perfectly.
Great. Thanks for having me on your show. I was last on your show on Friday, September 19, ahead of a huge weekend. That's what we're going to review quickly first. We had these 5 planets over the 19th weekend, 5 big planetary events, and I'll go over these briefly. And, if you'd like a copy of these notes, email me. I'll give you my contact email information here at the end, and you can get a copy of this and go over it yourself. So anyway, we had Mercury over the weekend. We had Mercury apogee. Apogee is when something's closest to the Earth, okay? So Mercury was close to the Earth. Anytime we have Mercury, we want to look at the grains, corn, soybeans, wheat. We also had Saturn perigee. Let's see, apogee is farthest. I don't know what I said, but apogee is the farthest from the Earth. If I may have misspoke. Perigee is closest to the Earth. Those are opposite points. And we had Saturn there. That's coffee. Then we also had a solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo over that weekend. Virgo is soybeans, but anytime that's a special kind of new moon. Anytime we have a new moon, full moon, round up the usual suspects, which are financials. Financials are your stocks, your bonds, and your currencies. And we have the grains, precious metals, oil, and I'm emphasizing soybeans for that event. And then we also had Mercury to the U.S. chart. And if you'd like any help with any of these technical terms or concepts, contact me. I'll give you a free class. Okay, so then anything to the U.S. chart, we look at U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and the U.S. dollar. And then we had Mars changing signs, going into the sign of Scorpio geocentrically. That's from the point of view of the Earth. We look at the solar system from 2 points of view. From the Earth is geocentric, and from the Sun is heliocentric. And so anyway, we had Mars go into Scorpio for cocoa, hogs, and T-bonds. And then the next few days after that weekend, we had 3 more cycles. So over a few days, we had like 8 big astral cycles. The afternoon of Monday the 22nd, that was Neptune perigee, closest to the Earth. Neptune is oil. And we also, that night after the close, AC, we had Jupiter to the U.S. chart for stock, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then the morning of the 23rd, this is another big cycle. Mars hit its 0 latitude point, and that's and because Mars was in the sign of Scorpio, we'll be looking at cocoa, hogs, and T-bonds. So here's your charts now. We had 2 points for the corn over the 19th weekend, and that means that we're looking for an opportunity to trade on the following morning, which would be Monday morning. And since the market was coming down, you would buy there. You did have a little bit of a drawdown. It looks a lot worse than it was. If you count the pennies, it's about 6 cents, I think. And that's only, it's a penny in corn is $50. So you had maybe a $300 drawdown. And it wasn't great. And then it turned around and went up. And you had a chance to maybe make 6 to 8 cents on the upside. All right, here's soybeans. It did not cooperate when we were emphasizing soybeans. So that was a big disappointment. That gave us 3 misses there on the beans, Here's wheat. Wheat, I'll follow the bean model there, and it didn't cooperate. And so we had 2 more misses with wheat. As you can see, I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there you go. Here's a sideways on cocoa. So we do nothing there, but we did have a nice dip into our Mars 0 latitude point on the morning of the 23rd, and that was a nice short-term low there. In contrast to corn, a little small movement here is big money. In corn, it looked like you had a pretty big move there. That was small money because the scaling is, but that's probably easily, see, you went from 68. That's probably like, it's like $5,000 or something just for that little move there, Here's hogs. We had a little pullback low there for our point there for hogs. And that was a Scorpio thing. Oh, sorry about that. Then it rallied here. You had a little bit of a drawdown there, but then it rolled over, and you had a chance to make some money there. Coffee, it was too confusing for coffee. It had a big down and then an up, and we ended up in the middle of the range. So we do nothing there. When in doubt, stay out. So that's a yellow light there. We do nothing. That's a pass. Silver, just kept going up on our solar eclipse, which is kind of surprising. That's usually has a high percentage turn there, but silver just kept going. So that's a miss. Had a kind of rough time here in some of the commodities. We're going to make it all up, though, as you'll see in a minute or two. In the financial world, here's gold had a pullback low here, and if you bought there, then you did pretty well. And crude oil is one of our best in the commodities. You can see it had a nice pullback low there, and we had the moon and new moon. We had the solar eclipse, and we had a Neptune point there. And you see you bought on a very nice low there. I think it went up about $3. That's good for $3,000. And now we're in the financial world, S&P 500, and we had like 8 points here, all within a few days, and it was going up, and then it rolled over and went down, big down, and so that all worked out nicely. So that's eight plus points. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so there's 8 plus points there. And here's the bonds making lows there. And then it popped up. So that was all good there. That was good for like 5 plus winners, you know. And here's the dollar. It had 2 on the upside, sell there and buy there. And so that was plus 3. And here's your Aussie dollar. I had a little short-term low there in the Aussie dollar. Had a little short-term low there. This based on the moon. This is solar, all on that 19th weekend solar eclipse. You would have been trading on Monday's opening, the 22nd. And there you go. There's the BP, British pound, and you made a short-term low there. Here's the Canadian dollar making a short-term high there. Here's the euro making a short-term low there. And the Japanese yen made a little bit of a short-term low there. And here's your Swiss franc, that made a short-term low there. So if you add up all the green arrows and the red arrows, 30 winners, 6 misses out of 36 for 83.33%. Now, sort of my version of the Bradley model, I call it the planetary index. I loved his concept, but I didn't like how he put it together, so I rebuilt the whole thing myself. Been doing this for like 45, 50 years. And the blue line, I do a month in advance, and then I overlay the actual results. That's S&P 10-minute bars on top of that. Sounds like we're going to commercial.
We got to take a break, Norm. We got to take a break.
Sir.
Stay with us.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Norm Winsky of Astro Trends. Please continue, Norm.
Thank you, Larry. I want to just clarify what I was showing before the commercial there. I didn't mention that this is a review of my September planetary index a la Bradley model there. And so I draw the blue line in advance. You can see the dates across here starting on September 2nd, and I ran that through the third Friday, October 3. So there you go. And black bars are the S&P 10-minute bar there. So I think you can see. Now, there's a whole class here, if you want to study this. I have these little red arrows here where there's important planetary events. For example, that red arrow there. Look at that. You had a big spike there and then a big down. Over here, the high up until the end of the month, Neptune perigee right there. Wait, if I get my arrow lined up there, where's my cursor? There we go. Right there where that red arrow is, and it looks like the pitchfork. That's the symbol for Neptune perigee. It goes right to that high there on the, that was on the morning of the 23rd, then the close of the 22nd. That was a big high there and a big down. So, there's some interesting points here. Here's that big cluster of the 19th is over here. That was a little bit early. It took another day to top it out, All right, moving ahead here now. Here's something interesting that I did not talk about a month ago. This just happened a few days ago that I put out in my nightly email update. Gold was started, I'm sure you were talking about earlier, I think, Larry, that gold went going into like Thursday. Gold was on the verge of going parabolic. That's when the market gets near a 90-degree ascent. And I looked at that, and I warned my clients that this is a very dangerous situation. When any market goes parabolic, I call it the death dance. Usually you're getting close to some big top there. And then in closing, I said, this is an exact copy and paste for what I sent out. And I said, by the way, I could have been off, I might have been off a day. I bet you remember this like it was yesterday, Larry. I said January the 20th. It might have been January 21, 1980. The high was 875. Is that pretty much your recollection, Larry?
865, January 20th.
Oh, I had 875. I don't know. I was there on the seaboat, but
that's close enough, buddy. But it was
all right.
right
So
there.
Anyway, doing a harmonics of that, 5 times that high price gave you 43.75, and on Friday morning we made the high. It got to there we go, 43.78.90, or $3.90 above the 43.75 number, and then it dropped $196. So that was pretty interesting. So the point of that is I'm not claiming any, that I'm just some genius or something. I'm giving you a technique that can work in the future, it's harmonics, where you have multiples of key prices, multiples in division of the key prices. That's called harmonics, and you might want to utilize that in your methodology, So there we go. So now looking ahead here now, here's what's coming up. I'm going to ask Larry to come on the show here today because tonight is a new moon. And one of the exciting things that Larry showed, I think, if I heard you correctly, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you said the S&P was near a completion on the upside. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, but I don't know how high up it's going to be completed, but it's getting close. It's very close to the old high. It's only 40
Well, there we go.
away.
So we need this to go a little bit higher. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And we got a new moon tonight, and that means that I'll be looking for some kind of high tomorrow, for all these turns for all these markets, depending upon whether they're going up or down. I saw gold was back up again, retesting that Friday morning high, and that might be in the category. What I like to see in my methodology is we want to see the markets get to some extreme into our change in trend timing windows. That's where you have about, on average, 75% probability that the market will turn. And anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we round up look at the financials, grains, precious metals, oil. And in this case, because it's in the sign of Libra, we want to emphasize sugar and wheat, okay? And then the night of the 21st, that'll be Tuesday night, have Pluto to the U.S. chart. We actually have two things for the U.S. chart, and this one here is huge. This is a 12-year cycle, well, to be exact, 11 and a half years. It takes Jupiter 11 and a half years to go around, and it's lining up with the U.S. Mercury. That's U.S. communications, might be trade deals or something. Jupiter is considered to be the most beneficial planet in all the planets, so we might get some big news about a trade deal or something to do with communications or transportation, something like that. Something big is brewing here, and it's going to be coming out here in the next few days, okay? And then also they got three things for the night of the tomorrow night, the Tuesday night. Then we have Neptune turning retrograde. Neptune is oil, for one thing, and we have, and in Pisces, I'm just going to talk about oil. I don't know how I got these in there. That's actually a mistake. So ignore all that, just oil. I'm just going to talk about oil. And oil's been going down. We might be making a low in oil in a couple of days, okay? So there we go. And we got free offers, free stuff. If the first 5 people who contact me, by the way, I've been doing this a long time, about 50 years now. I'm a former Chicago floor trader, survived there about 12 years. And the first 5 people who contact me by October 23, before the end of the week, get a free one-on-one class from me, and you can learn about advanced trading methods. In a few minutes, I reduce everything to simple, including Mr. Gann, who some people wrestle with for many years. I can reduce Gann to about 15 or 20 minutes, okay? And I keep everything very simple. Nothing's over a 5th grade level, I promise. Einstein said that simplicity is genius. Learn how you can get I do a fractal forecast. Those have been sometimes amazing for 28 markets, and you might be able to get that for free. And I can tell you how you can beat AI. Everybody's all obsessed with AI, but I think what I'm doing that's artificial intelligence. I'm doing natural intelligence. The solar system, nobody's smarter than Mother Nature. So we can beat AI and the Wall Street bot traders. Email me, include your name, location, and where you found this offer. My contact information is on the next page. Here we go. There we go. You can contact me. Please contact me by email. Don't use any other email that you might find on the internet. nwinski@yahoo.com. That's nwinski@yahoo.com. That's also my Teams address if you want to talk to me on Teams, but I would recommend you email me first so we can set up a session there on Teams. If you want to call me, you can call me here in beautiful Naples, Florida at 239-594-3939. That's 239-594-3939. looking forward to helping some of your folks. Larry, anybody have any comments or questions from the Tiger's Den?
Yes. Do you have any statistics on how often the mercury at apogee or perigee is a key turn?
I'm having trouble hearing you over the music, Larry.
Okay, well, we'll cover it next time, Ron. Thanks for joining us, my friend.
I'll
We'll be
stand
back
by in
next
case
week.
you want me to come back.
Okay, stay with us. Ron.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we had a couple questions for Norm. He graciously decided to stay on. The first question, do you have any statistics on how many times when you have mercury apogee or perigee is a good move in the market? Do you know the percentage number?
I just started incorporating that in the last couple of years, so I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to try to quote any numbers, but it works pretty well. That's anecdotally speaking, it works very well. Okay.
Okay. Second question is, where do you get your astrological signs and data that you report to us? That's a question that he asked.
Where do I get the astrological data? Is that the question?
Yeah, what the date? Like what's happening
most
today
of it comes
on
off an astrological.
October.
Most of it comes off of an astrological computer program, and then some of the things that program doesn't cover, I have to dig up from other sources. Like there's a Ephemeris, that's the table of planetary tables, or on the internet.
Okay. Well, listen, thanks for joining us, Norm. We'll have you on again, and may the force be with you, and stay in the universe.
Thank you very much, Larry. I hope some of the folks will contact me right away.
Okay, good show. Thank you very much, Norm.
Looking forward to helping them.
Okay, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right with me 1 second. I wanted to share one particular chart with us that we've been watching for quite some time. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it up here, so just bear with me, and we should be all right. Just come up one more time. And hit the entire screen. Hold on, this should do it. And I pull it up, and we should be there right about now. And that is our Dow Jones. As you can see here, folks, we are still heading up. We could get as high as another 200 points in the Dow, another 50 or 60 points. The S&P is still trading at 67.78. The high has been 67.79.5, and that should be a big ABCD. But the Dow Jones certainly could go higher. We've taken out the high of the 15th, folks, and that's why you can see it's just been straight up. And so that's when you stand in front of those freight trains, folks, it hurts. So that's why I tried to alert you today that if it got up today, it's probably going to be up. So this is the Monday, first day of the week, and we got a lot of people buying, record numbers of number of margin debt out there, least number of cash available.